I always like to bring some cacao wherever I go, really. Like if I'm meeting friends, if we're gonna sit and chat, especially if I'm gonna have a ceremony with my voice, I always like to bring cacao. Cacao is one of the plant medicines that I work with the most. It's a really beautiful heart opener. And it's really aligned with the culture and the wisdom that I like to bring forth, which comes from the Olmecas, the Mayas. And it's a medicine that's very much heart opening. That's kind of like at the core, the medicine that I want to bring to the world for us to live more connected to the heart. So I brought some cacaocito for you. And we have some Palo Santo, and we're just gonna bless it with intentions of opening your heart.
Wow. What does it mean for you to have an open heart?
Firstly, I actually believe that our hearts are always open. But for me to live with an open heart is basically everything that you do in life, every conversation you have, every interaction you have, every meeting you have, everything that you create, everything that you say, everything that you do in the name of love. And I work a lot with the medicine of the Cuero, the cosmovision of the Andes, which is a cosmovision that is based on living in Aini, living in right relationship with the world, with nature mostly. Yeah. And in that cosmovision, the heart is the space of truth. The heart is the space of trust. The heart is the space where there is no fear, there is no worry. Everything we know from the heart. Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps as I say it. It's like when we are grounded in our hearts, we know. Whenever we're in fear, whenever we're in worry, whenever we are in all of those, downward spirals of control and doubt, we're in the head. And bringing it back to the heart is bringing it to that place of, I trust. I'm in full faith and trust, and I can let go. I feel like our journey here on earth is to learn how to let go. Learn how to let go of everything we've learned, learn how to let go of those fears, learn how to let go. So we're in a constant remembering our nature, which is peace and love and harmony, by letting go.
Yeah. But you still, even if your heart is open, but you still experience a lot of feelings, including negative ones, right?
Here's the thing. I'm going to take a little sip. Smell it? Let's whisper it some love. And here is a little bit for you too, beautiful Natalia.
So good.
Let's be real.
Yeah. What do you usually whisper?
I whisper my intention. What's our intention for today? To relax, to let go, to open our hearts, to let go of the mind. So this is, if we go back to the Andean cosmovision, the Aini, living in right relationship, is also living in balance, and it's also living in this law of reciprocity. Give and receive. We give and receive. Life is about that cycle. I give and I receive. Yeah. And I've learned that in life, as much as you are willing to give is equivalent to the amount in which you are willing to receive. So that's the reciprocity. We give to the cacao.
Let's open the heart.
Yes. And then we receive it back. We feel it. We let it come into our bodies. So that is the cycle. We give, and that which we gave, we're going to receive back.
Yeah.
So yeah, the more that you give into it, the more that you will receive back.
So you're offering cacao on all your workshop ceremonies?
Not the workshops, but the ceremonies. I hold specifically cacao ceremonies. And I merge my cacao ceremonies with the shamanic sound healing journey. Yeah, so I do a combination of both. It's super interesting because it first started with cacao.
Yeah.
I kind of like cacao just came into my life, and it's so interesting how it happens. It's like if I would have looked back into the vision that I had for my life, I could have never imagined sitting here with you today talking about this and doing what we're going to do. And it's a little bit of living from the heart, trusting. I have this like theory that our desires are divine. It's not my theory. I think a lot of people out there have this idea, but that our desires are divine. They are divinely implanted into our hearts because they're kind of like whispering to us, like the pathway to our dharma, to our purpose, to our mission, to what we're here for. And when you follow that heart and that pull of what moves you in life and what excites you and what gives you chills and what moves you, what do you stand for? Like what are you anchored in a way in which no matter what anybody says, they could never move you from that. And when you are kind of following that path and just following the crumbs that the heart leaves you, like a little curiosity there and a little curiosity. So my curiosity was music. When I was a child, it was like, okay, you're going to be curious about music. And I started following that a little bit. But then with all the should do's and all the ways in which you have to become someone, I followed the path of, I knew I wanted to help people, but I went into, okay, how do we do that in this 3D world, in this created world? Psychology. So I only knew that path towards helping people heal. So I left music aside. And then my whole life story and led me here.
Yeah.
And I found myself in this place with women who were sharing cacao and creating ceremonies with cacao. I have a dear friend, Annika Panotsky, who I've worked a lot with, and she's brought a lot of the wisdom that I got to remember now. And she worked with cacao, and it just started coming into my life, and I started working with it. I started learning it, and I do want to say that a lot of the things that I'm bringing and that I do, and a lot of the medicine that I bring, it's not something that I per se have studied, or I have studied, but I don't have a certificate.
Yeah.
Like the only real certificate I have is energy healing. But then shamanic sound healing, I don't have a certificate for that. Offering cacao ceremonies, I don't have a certificate for that. Holding ceremonial space, I don't have a certificate. It's just something that comes natural.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a message that I want to share with people, is that your medicine doesn't require a certificate, because your medicine is most probably something that's not out there, something that has never been created. And if you're waiting for someone to give you a certificate for it, you're going to waste your whole life, and you're going to wait your whole life. So yeah, how to that.
But did I understand correct that you were studying psychology? Oh, you did that.
I did.
Did you work as a psychologist?
No, not quite. The pathway into like the work environment when you're studying psychology, because you can't be a psychologist unless you have your title. While you're studying, the best way to get into the working environment is through human resources. Because in Argentina, you apply a lot of psychology in human resource, in the process of hiring. You do a lot of tests, and so that was my way in through HR. And then I just continued my path through HR, human resources. And then when I finished, I traveled the world and I came here.
Yeah.
So I never really applied it. I then studied different things. I studied life coaching, which I do apply. But then it's been merging with so many other things. So
yeah. So you have never been working for companies or?
I've worked for companies through my entire career, but only through human resources.
Only human resources.
Yeah. Like customer service, learning and development, training. In that, I went into more of that area in my corporate career.
Yeah. And how did you decide to quit corporate world?
I think that it was a mutual decision. The corporate world decided to quit me. And then, of course, I'm like, okay, I'll quit you too. Okay. We're not meant for each other. I think it was, when I came to Sweden, it was a bit of a challenging time for me to find a job and the language and kind of feeling comfortable being myself. So every job that I could find was very much covering maternity leaves. So every job I had in a company was a 1-year contract.
Okay.
So every year I had to go out there and kind of like try to get a new job. But then there was a year where nothing happened. Like nobody would hire me. Thank God. Thank you for that. And that's kind of like where I feel like you need to start paying attention to those messages.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this isn't the way. And I remember walking to an interview feeling like I was in a box. Like I felt like I felt a little bit of anxiety and I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't even want to work here. And I was walking towards the interview and it was that moment when I'm like, I can't be doing this anymore. And it was the pandemic. So it kind of like everything just led to do your own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I recognize that a lot. Actually.
Tell me a little bit.
I'm actually covering at my job. I'm covering the woman who is on maternity leave. So that's funny.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. And my previous employee was deciding to quit me. But I'm also feeling that I'm not on the right place, so to say. I'm not doing what I supposed to do. And it's like more money-driven decision to go to the job. And the older I get, the more this feeling growing inside me. And it's very... it becomes very difficult, like, to handle that. I really feel that I need to gather all my power and take decision and and starting something new.
Yeah. I mean, I understand. There comes a moment where this is where I believe that sickness starts. I believe that dis-ease is, as the word says it. I love to look at the origin of the words. Dis-ease is not being at ease. So dis-ease comes from the body not being at ease. So there are these energies and there is something bubbling up and wanting to come through and wanting to be expressed and wanting to be created through you. But your body is containing it and it's trapping that energy. And trapped energy creates dis-ease in the body. And depending on the emotion that you're trapping, it will create different kinds of experiences and diseases in the body. So when you were saying about, I remember now, we were talking about negative emotions. You said when you live with your heart open, you also experience negative emotions. I believe that there are no negative emotions. I believe that there are emotions that have frequencies, that are high frequencies and lower vibrational frequencies. But lower vibrational frequencies doesn't necessarily mean it's negative. Because when we bring in the term negative, we start getting into our heads about, oh no, I shouldn't be feeling this way. Oh no, you push it away and you create resistance towards that energy. And the more resistance we create, the more resistance we get back. And we are in this push and pull. And we're just, again, contracting and recreating that energy. Energy is always moving. And emotions are energy in motion. They want to move through our body. They want to move through us. And the moment that we're like, no, I shouldn't be feeling this, we contract the body, contract the emotion, we trapped it.
Yeah.
Boom, disease. The longer we trap it, the bigger the disease expresses it in the body. The quicker we let go, again, it's a journey of letting go. The quicker we can let it go and let it move through, we're just letting it pass. We're just letting it pass and it just moves through. So I don't believe there's negative emotions. Yeah. Emotions are energy in motion. Everything is information.
Yeah.
So stress, anxiety, fear, pain, grief, shame, everything is information guiding you. Oh, I'm feeling this. Okay, I feel it. I acknowledge it. I accept it. And I let it go. And then there comes the tools, the healing tools that teach you or that help you let go.
Yeah.
And then every tool is for every different one.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. And that is probably why I have started several years ago to do some searching for some kind of practices and practicing meditation every day now. And I've been at your ceremony, Cacao ceremony, which I enjoyed a lot. And has been doing different stuff. But today we're gonna do shamanic sound healing.
Yes.
Right? And tell me, please, what exactly we will do and what I will feel.
Okay. Here's the thing. I can tell you a little bit of how I move through it. What you will feel, I have no idea. I have no idea. And that's the beauty about it. You know, when we're working with sounds have a resonance, a frequency that reflects in the frequency of the body. So different sounds will reflect differently in your energy body. And when that energy comes in, different sounds creating these vibrations in your body bring you to a sense of alignment, bring you to a sense of harmony, bring you to a sense of balance. And different sounds and different instruments take you to a journey into a different place. What that place is, I cannot tell you because you have a whole world inside of you that I don't know about. So the beautiful thing about sound healing is that it relaxes your body. It brings you into a calm state. And it activates your parasympathetic system, which is that system of relaxation, of calmness. And that calmness and that relaxation allows you to enter and access an altered state of consciousness, which is not your normal awake consciousness. And when you're in there, you move through your subconscious and you move to different realms, worlds that are not this, that help you gain a different perspective on what you're moving through. So that is a little bit of the practice that we're going to do today. And in shamanism, basically what shamanism is working with the unseen realms, working with the energy realms, working with the spirits, working with the elements and the spirits of nature. So we're just kind of like, when I get into I also get into a meditative state when I go in here, like I'm gonna journey right there with you, like I'm gonna be gone. I just tune in and just perceive. I feel sounds and I feel a movement in my body that wants to express in a certain way with a sound. So it's just about feeling and perceiving and using my body as a channel for the elements and the spirits and the guides to speak through my voice, through my sounds.
For your body, and that will come to me.
Exactly.
Okay, right. So you're as a channel. Right,
we all are channels. We all are channels. It's just a matter of how conscious you are of what you are channeling and how open you are to channel and the intention that you have to channel something.
Okay.
Yeah. So you always have to have an intention. You have to prepare your body. You have to open your body, and then you have to have the practices to actually bring it through. Yeah. But we're all channels.
Yeah. But for this practice, should I have some kind of intention also, right?
It's always beautiful to have an intention because intention will direct energy. Then where you go in that, it doesn't matter. Intention is like that masculine energetic structure that we give to something that we want to create. We create like like a container. It's like, this is the container that I want to create. I want to create peace. And then how you create peace in that, we don't know. That is where the feminine, mystical, magical world comes into play, where we don't know, but setting the intention is going to direct the energy. So when we set an intention, we're telling our subconscious mind, I want you to show me more of this. And usually what happens is that not only does your mind show you more of this, but it shows you all of the places where you are not allowing that.
Okay.
So for example, if we want to experience peace, a lot of times in life, the chaos comes so that we practice peace in the moment. It's not like, oh, I'm going to give you peace. No, you have to cultivate it within.
Yeah.
So how do you cultivate peace if not in chaos? I mean, peace and peace is super easy, but peace and chaos, that's where that's where you really get to nurture it. So that's a little bit of what I feel like. I always say that life on its own is a medicine journey, especially when you're living super conscious, setting intentions and doing these things really aware. You're always going to be shown like all the places where I need to cultivate more of this. Oh, I need to cultivate more of this. Oh, because it's always, everything is within you. And everything outside of you is showing you how to access that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Interesting. But will you use some tools for this practice?
Yeah.
Or is it only your voice?
No, it's instruments. So I have a couple of instruments. Yeah. And then I have what I call it's called a loop station. So it creates loops of sounds that I pre-record, like soundscapes and like background sounds that I can't create, like a forest sound or the sound of crickets or like those kind of sounds I pre-record there. And then I merge it with instruments, with my voice, but mostly I mostly bring my voice in. I feel like that's where I play the most.
Yeah. I see that you have another stuff as well, like picture and some woman here.
Yeah, that's the Virgin Mary.
More? What?
Virgin Mary.
Virgin Mary.
Yeah, I'm not Catholic. Like I'm not religious, but I do believe in entities, in gods, in goddesses, in also symbolisms, archetypes. Yeah. So I have Lord Ganesh to remove obstacles. I always have him with me. I have Lakshmi for wealth, abundance, beauty. I have the Great Invocation. This is one of the most beautiful invocations that you can bless the world with. And I learned this invocation through the teachings of Master Choa Koksui, which is the master that brought pranic healing, which is the healing that I do.
Is it like mantra or?
It's not a mantra. It's like a prayer. And it's super powerful to heal the world and to bless the world.
Okay.
And Mother Mary, because she is always with me. She's she's my guide. Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, they are my guides. And then I have of course my pendants for Isis, and it's a whole lineage that I call forth when I'm doing these ceremonies. So I bring them all with me.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Is it your mission to help people with such practices? Can you describe what your mission is?
This is the last question. Yeah. I'm not sure I can describe what my mission is because I feel like it's an interesting question. I feel like I am here on earth to bring love, to bring joy, and to bring play. How that takes form, I have no clue because it's taken different forms. But I feel like my mission is to bring love, joy, and play. I feel like that's my essence. That's who I am. Then life will take me to different ways. Now it's this. We don't know. Before it was something else. So so if you ask me, what's your mission? I would say right now to bring love, joy, and play.
Very beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we start then?
Yes, let's get started. Shamanic.